already. You're ready, huh? Very good. My name is Jonavette Cole, and I'm going to be your mistress of ceremonies this afternoon. We'd like to really welcome you here to our pre-launch of Spiro. So may we ask that you prepare your ears, your audio receptors, prepare your mind, your cognitive thinking, prepare your eyes, your visual intake for what we are about to witness today. But before we begin, we'd like to share with you something special. Spiro will awaken the abilities of the learner. And Mr. Island will share with you one of our favorite motivational tunes that truly describes the work of NuuED. Please welcome Mr. John Island, forgive me.
That's okay. We'll get it together. How's everyone doing today? Awesome. It's a beautiful day for learning. It's a beautiful day for just supporting each other and doing what we do today. I'm just so happy to see everybody. I'm glad to be here. Okay, can we hook it up? Feel free to sing along if you know the song. Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more awkward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty, Wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. 'Cause they're the ones that's coming up, the world is in their hands. And when you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Nah. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. Wake up all the doctors, make the old people well. 'Cause they're the ones who suffer and who catch all the hell. 'Cause they don't have too very long before their judgment day. So won't you make them happy before they pass away? And wake up all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we can do it if we all lend a hand. The only thing we gotta do is put it in our minds, and things will surely work out. They do it all the time. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Nah. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. Change it, yeah, just you and me. I need a little help, y'all, just you and me. Change it, yeah. Oh. Wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what we have to say. 'Cause they're the ones that's coming up, the world is in their hands. And when we teach the children, teach them the very best we can. and wake up all the builders. Time to build a new land. I know we can do it if we all lend a hand. You know what? That's what we gotta do. You know, we gotta help each other out. We gotta all lend a hand. You know, we gotta step forward and we gotta do what we do. You know, to be a better place for us all. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. Change it, yeah. Wake up, everybody. Wake up, everybody. Wake up, everybody. Can I get a little help, y'all? Just you and me. Thank you.
Now, was that beautiful? Let's give him another hand. What a beautiful voice. What a beautiful message. I mean, it's all about learning. It's all about our children. It's all about adults learning as well. And we're going to change the world today with Spiral. So once again, we'd like to welcome you. We thank you for coming out on a Saturday. You are about to witness the premiere of a service that is forthcoming. We all learn differently, right? So education is not and should never be a one-size-fits-all. I myself, I have 3 children. One of them's here today somewhere. And they're all bright. They're all articulate. But they all struggled academically in various areas. So I spent thousands of dollars on tutors, on private schools, as well as various learning centers. Matter of fact, there was one learning center. My husband's in the room. I don't want him to hear this, but I'm going to share it anyway. I spent $7,000 a quarter on 3 of my children in order for them to get the service that they needed. And I have to tell you, I was always disappointed. So that was a lot of money that we put out each time. Sorry, honey. But upon being introduced to NuuED, I was amazed by this innovative system that will probably change, not probably, it will change the lives of any learner from pre-K to career. NuuED was established and will establish new guidelines for reaching academic excellence, no matter what age level. Spiral will have a positive impact on one's learning capacity. Today, you have the opportunity to pre-order your annual family plan, and that means 1 to 5 members of your family. And being that this is a season of giving, right? You can sponsor 5 students or sponsor a group or an educational institution if you so choose. But I want you to remember this day. Today is December 9th, 2017, a day where we have been blessed with beautiful sunshine, a day where we are about to witness history being made. So, NuuED's founder would like to come and welcome you. With a passion for those who were challenged academically, Derek O'Neill used his personal experience to implement a dream that will change the lives of several millions of learners throughout the world. He's a writer, he's a coach, he's a mentor who had a vision to develop a personalized learning platform which has never been seen before, not on this level. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome NuuED's founder, Derek O'Neill. use his mic.
I don't think I do. I feel what Tyler Perry felt like now. When he looks into the audience and knows everybody. So I know what that feels like that. So one of the things I want to talk about today is I want to welcome everybody here. I normally, when I go one of these kind of meetings, I generally talk about my past, but I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about the present. That's what I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to talk about, there was a story, and I'm going to share it with you because I only got 2 seconds, but it really impacted my life, and it's one of those kind of things that stays with me. And we was at a school in Vallejo, and we're doing a demonstration, and we're there doing a demo and want to see if this thing works. And we came to the school, and the kids were going crazy. And I'm like, oh, Joe, we got to leave. I said, this ain't gonna work. And after the first week, I started noticing it started getting more quieter. I started seeing a confidence level. We walked in. It went from not looking at us to saying, hello, Mr. O'Neill. And I'm like, okay. But as one particular individual student, he walked up to me after class. And he said to me, Mr. O'Neill, I really appreciate you. I now understand how I learn best. And I'm like, okay, that was great. I looked at Dr. Rogers, she's here today. And he said, no, Mr. O'Neill, I was reading at a 3rd grade level. And now I'm reading at a 6th grade level. And I'm like, but for me, that was like, yeah, that was great. I'm like, Joe, we getting all pumped up and fired up. I'm about to call Carlos. And he said, no, Mr. O'Neill, I'm able to go make my mother feel better. And what he said next, I wasn't prepared for it. Because he said, my mother has cancer, and I'm able to make her feel better. Now, I don't tell a lot of people this, but I'll tell my friends and family this today, is that I'm a cancer survivor myself. So you have to understand how deep that was for me. And today's event is all about showing you what I know already. I feel like we've unlocked the key to learning. That's what I feel. That story right there, no matter what, is what it's all about for me. And this is what I want to give to the world. That's number one. Today, it started off as just being a NuuED kind of a team event. And then it kind of grew because one of our associates said, hey, let's do an event. And I said, oh, no, we don't have 2 people show up. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And today, you guys are kind of like the focus group. This is like the information. And the thing is, I want you to see for the student how deep that we're going to go. I feel like understanding the individual and delivering information that is tailored to the way they learn, I feel that's going to be the biggest thing on the planet. We're going to be the #1 platform on the planet, and I promise you that because, like I said, I promised the students at Benjamin Franklin Middle School, I'm going to be here from the education through their career, their college, and you'll get a chance to understand that from my partners today. And you'll get this feel of passion from our investors. We all have a certain philosophy, and that's us being as one, understanding each other. I can look in the room right now, and I can adjust myself to each and every last one of you. But today, I'm really so proud to welcome you today, and I'm gonna get off the stage. And I'll see you later. Thanks. All right.
Can we thank Mr. O'Neill for his innovation and for his vision and for his heart for the learner, for young people, for all of us, really. So we're going to have Mr. O'Neill come back later, and you'll have an opportunity to meet with him and to chat with him further. But next, we would like to give you a perspective from an individual who has worked tirelessly in the education arena. Our next presenter is an educator with a wealth of experience in global trade and logistics, and is an adjunct professor in the Peralta Community College District. P.J. Shelton has served on the board of the Council of Supply Chain Management Professions, professionals. She has served as a county commissioner for Contra Costa County, worked with First Five. Who's familiar with First Five? I know you've seen their commercials. And she is a member of the National Association of Female Executives. Operating internationally, PJ Shelton immediately recognized the impact NuuED will have both in education and in corporate venues. She will share how Spiral benefits the student learner, and she will share why she decided to partner with NuuED, including Spiral in a $500,000 a year grant and providing thousands of subscribers from the local community of colleges, including Peralta colleges. PJ Shelton will also share how she sees Spiral helping the local community in the coming years. Please welcome PJ Shelton.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me from here? Let me tell you why I'm not coming down. I took my shoes off. I bought a pair of brand new shoes for this event, and they got me from the parking lot to that lobby. Am I kidding, Detrice? I pulled the chair up, and I've been sitting until I came up here, so please forgive me. I've got my shoes off, and my feet are very happy. I'm so honored to be here this afternoon, and I had to turn around to see. I didn't know if photos were going to be shown, so I had to turn around to see which photo they had. Now, I've got to tell you what my husband said. He says, when I go in the bathroom in the morning, he never knows who's going to come out. I was a blonde when that picture was taken. I'm silver now. Next week, I may be a redhead, so watch out. It's all about the spice and being happy and being real and being you. I do work for the Peralta Community College District, but I represent the State Chancellor's Office. The grant that was awarded to the district was awarded for the sector of global trade and logistics, which just means the industry of global trade and logistics. The region that I cover is from Santa Rosa, all of San Francisco and Marin County, all the way to Silicon Valley. I work with about 24 K through 12s and about 12 to 14 community colleges. What I do is I'm very passionate about, because I'm giving back what I'm passionate about, and that is developing, we used to say career pathways, but now we say we're developing guided pathways for the students. Most of our students in high school are just being passed through. I'm sure all of you realize that. By the time they reach a 4-year, if they choose to go to a 4-year university, they're not ready, they're not prepared. Cal State East Bay has actually sent an email out to all of the community colleges in Northern California stipulating they do not want any high school students to graduate and go directly to them. They want them to stop at the community colleges. Now, we're ready for that challenge, but we're sad because of the reason. The reason is remedial training. Again, they're passing through. These instructors, and I don't fault the teachers. Teachers are underpaid and overworked. And I'm going to give you some stats in just a minute. So I'm not faulting them. I'm faulting the system. We're dealing with an educational system that's archaic. It's back in the 40s and the 50s when, well, maybe not most of you, but when I was in school, it's archaic. I had an instructor. My class was probably, the ratio of students to instructor was probably 12 to 1. Again, the statistics I'm going to share with you in just a second is 10 times that now. Yes. And yet we expect our kids to be learning. How can they? How can they? And it's not their fault. So my mission is to make sure that all of our children of color are represented, and are represented in a very positive way. I am one of 2 African American females that hold this position. And we talk daily because it is very important when I go into a classroom that they can see me through their eyes. I want them to understand that whatever they achieve, they can make. They will reach any dream that they've set for themselves. I went back to school at a very late age. I'm now in my third year of a PhD program. And we were talking about books and how important books are and reading. I had a study abroad program. I participated in a study abroad program in March of this year. I was the only person that traveled over there that purchased and bought a suitcase full of all of my books for the study abroad program. When my instructor saw me rolling my suitcase down for the first class, he's like, PJ, what's in your suitcase? I said, my books. He said, you didn't need to bring your books. I said, now you tell me. I had to pay $200 for this case of books to bring over here. But I learned. I shared. I opened my books and I shared with, we were in Vienna, and I shared with all of the students that were in Vienna everything that I've learned over here. Now, my goal is to take our young people and put them on a bus to an airport, to take them over to other countries so they can have the visual of dreaming to be whatever they choose to be. Now let me read these stats to you. Students meeting or exceeding grade level standard in English language arts. In Alameda County, African American, 26%. American Indian, Alaska Native, 46%. Asian American, 78%. Filipino, 64%. Hispanic Latino, 34%. Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, 34%. White, 72%. Multiracial, 68%. Those are real, true 2017 numbers. Ratio of students to pupil support service by type of personnel. Counselor. If one of the students was to go speak with a counselor, there's 827 students for one counselor. Librarian. 4,443 students, one librarian. Nurse. 5,442 students to one nurse. Psychologist or caseworker or social worker. 5,794 students to one person. Speech, language, hearing specialist, 1,466 to one. Special education, resource specialists, and other personnel, 1,936 to one. The stats don't lie. The data does not lie. We are in a crisis situation right now with the current resident in the White House, and we have to pick up ourselves. We have to lift ourselves up and do what we need to do to make sure that our children, our next generation, is successful. Now, having said that, I know I've got 5 minutes, but I love microphones. Okay, so let me share this with you. Did you know that people born before 1944 were called the silent generation? People born between 1945 and 1964 are called the baby boomers. People born between 65 and 1979 are called Generation X. And people born between 1980 and 2010 are called Generation Y. Why do we call them Generation Y? Here's why. Why should I get a job? Why should I leave home and find my own place? Why should I get a car when I can borrow yours? Why should I clean my room? Why should I wash and iron my own clothes? Why should I buy any food? Need I say more? Okay. We are at a crisis, people. College of Alameda and the Peralta Community College District is very much aware of the importance of my Spiral Buddy. I call him my Spiral Buddy. I've already started to share it with my K through 12s in my region. And the reason they understand it's important is because they realize it is a vital platform, that it has finally come into its own. This is a great opportunity for all parents, families, educators, politicians to really jump on this bandwagon and understand it's going to, like the Soul Train, jump on. It's going to keep on rolling all the way through, not just in California. We plan to take this outside of the state of California, and then outside of the United States. I'm going to Cuba next May, and when I go to Cuba, Spiral Buddy is going with me. That's right. We're going there. We're going there for educational purposes, and Spiral Buddy's going with me. So as I'm closing, let me share this with you. It's Christmas time, and I wrote a little poem. I told you I love microphones. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the mall, parents were racing and sprinting up and down all the halls. They were lost and confused, trying to buy what was hot, not knowing that around the corner they would come to a full stop. A small little character stood maybe 2 feet, and he smiled and waved and said, "You look beat. I'm just a holiday gift you can give, a buddy to study with, and I'm progressive. My name is Spiral, and I'm Santa's best, not because I'm cute, but because you can now rest. I'm a learning genius, and will help all year, just doing my thing while handling the reindeers." Oh, how the eyes of the parents did twinkle, as now they can rest just like Rip Van Winkle. But as I was leaving with a smile on my face, I could hear them all laughing and saying, "Wow, this is the ace. Spiral Buddy for now and for our future to come. Now let's stop running and begin learning while having fun." Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. I'm sold. Are you sold? Every single person in the world needs to have Spiral the Study Buddy. Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. This is from an educational perspective. And today we have in the room educators. We have Matt Wayne, the superintendent of Hayward Unified School District. We have Lisa Bruner, the president of the school board. You know why they're here? Because they care, and they want to see better for our students, for all of us. Thank you. Thank you again.
May I say one more thing?
Yes.
I want to talk about John here for a hot second. When you know, in my church, when we hear good singing, we take our shoes off and throw them. You almost got hit, because I've got both shoes off. I just want to tell you that. And I also want to say one thing about this wonderful man sitting to my right.
Yes, he is.
He never sleeps. I think he eats. And he loves to tweet and send text messages. But you know what? It's because of his passion, his vision, his dedication, and his willingness to bring us all along on this ride. So I just want to say, Derek, I adore you, and you can tweet me anytime you want. I may not answer, but you can tweet me.
Thank you.
Yep.
Takes a village, takes a village. Okay, so our next presenter is Michael's Transportation. They provide logistics to the business community and have done so for over 30 years. So we're giving you an educational perspective, now a business perspective. Michael's Transportation will share with you how corporations can use Spiral to enhance the learning capacity of their employees. Michael's Transportation will share its involvement with the adult or professional learner, and explain the type of assessments required within their organizations for people to obtain a position within their organization. And they're going to share with us how they are going to implement and incorporate Spiral into their workforce. Please welcome Michael's Transportation.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Well, first of all, I want to thank and unthank Derek for having me follow such a wonderful speaker in Ms. PJ. I mean, how do you follow up with that, right? Well, we really love her, and we love you too, Derek, and thank you for having us. My name is Corby Harvey with Michael's Transportation, and my colleague Keith Judkins is here with us as well. And we just wanted to give you a little bit of information and let you know how excited we are to be here and to be a part of this wonderful launch that you have here right now. Derek, we applaud you for your dedication and your hard work in bringing this incredible product finally out to the public, and we appreciate that. Let's give Derek a hand. So a little bit about Michael's Transportation and the MTS Training Academy. It's an employee-owned company that has been providing world-class transportation service to the Greater Bay Area, the Central Coast, Sacramento, and the Stockton areas for more than 30 years. Our services include driver staffing, our commercial driving training programs, contract training services, and our specialty, which is school bus transportation. We are dedicated to leaving a positive impact on the communities that we serve, and we endeavor to provide our students and our employees with an employable skill that allows them to pursue a career in the truck driving and bus driving industry. There are also many other opportunities that are available to them in the commercial driving industry. And because of the nature of our industry, many young and old students find themselves back in a classroom training environment. What we have observed is that many of them experience this to be terrifying because now they may have potential learning challenges that they were able to maybe hide in the past, that they were able to just pretend that they were getting by. Okay? Our industry requires specific training and credentials in order to enter this field. For example, to operate a commercial vehicle in California, you have to have a Class A or a Class B commercial driver license. And this requires completing a battery of written and verbal exams. And Derek happens to be a Class A driver for many, many years. So what we've discovered in being able to work with Derek, that by using the Spiral program, we will have a better understanding of how a person learns. We believe that it will allow us to improve our training methods, and this will positively impact the learning experience for the employees and the students that are in our organization. In addition, we believe that the Spiral program has tremendous potential throughout the commercial driving industry, and Michael's Transportation applauds NuuED and Derek, and we look forward to even more collaboration in the future. So thank you again for having us on this launch, and we look forward to seeing more exciting things happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Our next presenter will walk you through the technology and background of Spiral, along with sharing with you the innovative features. He will also provide you with a small video, short video, discussing and sharing an example of Spiral. Now let me tell you about Mr. Carlos Miguel Collazo. He's bad. He's a global technological innovator, a strategic technology business advisor, the inventor of the United Nations Commodity Classification System, a technology architect, having designed and implemented digital media platforms for various companies such as Coca-Cola, AT&T, Hewitt and Packard, Microsoft, and JP Morgan. He's an educator of cyber intelligence, Equifax, an owner of multiple technology patents. He's a global entrepreneur who has founded such companies as Marcis, which delivers services and technologies to Fortune 500 companies in over 20 countries. At this time, may we please welcome Carlos Miguel Collazo.
Hi, good afternoon. Maybe I could borrow yours. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, okay. That's much better. Again, good afternoon, and it's a great pleasure for me to meet many of you today, and many of you that I've been working with for quite some time on what we're trying to get done with NuuED and with Spiral. And all these lists of accomplishments, they're wonderful to hear from time to time, but the most important thing I heard earlier was from PJ, which classified me as a baby boomer. Okay, so I'm thinking, wow, when was the last time a lady called me a baby? Okay, and I'm still wearing my shoes. But what drives all of us on this particular journey is the fact that we are all different. We need to celebrate that. The fact that we come from different cultures and orientations and experiences and everything like that. I'm Cuban. I'm born in Havana, Cuba, by the way, and you're going over there, so we'll be talking soon about this. Okay, all right. And in my travels and my experiences around the world for many, many years, I noticed this great commonality of human beings that we strive to learn. We need to learn. We weren't just born with certain knowledge. It's part of the mechanism. We go through learning processes by experience, by our parents, by our associates, by our family. I mean, just go on and on and on. I'm not saying anything new to you that you don't experience and know that it's absolutely true. And in going through all of that, we know this innately. We all learn differently. Guess what? And we all learn differently about different subjects. Some of us actually learn visually in a certain subject, and it becomes absolutely boring when you're going to do it in another subject. And so this is something it's been known. And so what we've done here with Spiral and via NuuED is we've done our homework. There's an entire massive body of work by very intelligent, well-educated academics and scientists for many years on learning methodologies, on theories, on approaches, and they've done a lot of research. And some of the research has really come up with some really neat things that caught our attention. And so we've been going out for the last 3 years talking to these folks, going through their particular research. So the science that's behind this is not science that two people cooked up over in Silicon Valley and said, oh, this looks good. No, it's actually deep, and it's actually there from luminaries that have participated in these areas. What we've done that's different is we brought to the front of that advanced technologies in artificial intelligence and correlative analytics and cluster analytics, things of all that, those fancy names, which what it really amounts to is we've made it simpler for that kind of science to be applied in a way that people can actually use it. And so, I mean, all these fancy words and all that, that's really what it comes down to. How, I was speaking with someone earlier, I was speaking with Willem about this earlier with respect to, when we use a camera, do you know how much technology and research went to the point where you can have a camera that all you need to do is look through and click and go from there? So if you go back through the histories of cameras, you'll be, laughing at a lot of this stuff. So same thing happens when you're dealing with methodologies and practices and approaches to different ways of learning. And so in the last 15 years or so, there's been a lot of focus on differentiated learning. What does that mean? Okay. Bottom line, it means that we're all different, we're all diverse, so it sort of makes sense that the way we learn should be along the lines of what our strengths are. What are our strengths, our cultural strengths, our community strengths, our approaches to what we like and we respond and what we try to learn in our way. And sometimes, I think someone just mentioned about folks that don't have high levels of English reading, right? Yet they're still getting through society when we have a society that, for all intents and purposes, there are barriers for folks that can't understand or read English beyond 5th grade, for example. I mean, there's a study that I read which was at the 5th grade level, that's one of our lines of demarcation that says if you can't read at 5th grade level or above, you're functionally illiterate. Okay, in the United States of America, mind-boggling, okay, when you think about that. So, but these folks are out there working in our society. They're not dumb, okay? That's the whole point. They're actually smarter in many cases because they figured out a way through work through things without, those kinds of challenges impeding them from doing things. So that's an interesting scenario. And then you've got folks that come in from other countries that maybe English is not their first language and they're trying to go forward and they have challenges. So we can go down that list. And a lot of this passion I've always had because I've always had a craziness about education. And then I met that guy, okay, through my good friend Joe, and we got along together, obviously, and Derek's passion and vision to help people became the catalyst for bringing the kinds of experience and technology and folks that are interested in really making something happen here. And this is not God's gift to the world. This is one of those gifts to the world, right? It's going to make a change, it's going to make some things happen, and it's going to improve so many opportunities for so many people. It's not only for students, it's for, we call them learners. So learners, students, trainees, everyone that needs to improve their skills in particular subject matter. So what's behind it? The platform utilizes very advanced technology that was utilized and created for completely different things in other parts of the world for other stuff. And we figured out ways to adapt it and create new technology that becomes part of the NuuED spiral platform. And so it learns how you learn behaviorally. How do you learn behaviorally? It learns it very quickly and establishes a baseline about how you learn. And it's not only about whether you're visual or you're oral or kinesthetic or anything like that. It doesn't stop there. Okay, it takes into consideration your cognitive skills and levels of cognitive skills. Okay, so how much memory are you applying to what you're learning? What's your perspective? All these kinds of things bring together. And then it doesn't stop there. It goes further. It says, okay, let's look at environmental factors, cultural orientations, societal. Do you learn better or for yourself anyway in a group or by yourself in a solitary way? What's more important for you there? What kind of impact is your way of life and culture and everything that makes us different and also strong? What kind of impact does that have on how you're learning and how you're getting information? So this is the kind of technology that has brought that science and the academic research forward. And then, of course, we could have made it really complicated because ultimately techies and engineering folks want to go and make things very complicated. We then spent a lot of time trying different models over the last 2 years, trial balloons, if you would, an app that would do this, a site that would do that, and everything, so that we can learn what people really needed. And someone mentioned earlier, Dr. Detrice Rogers is here. That was a pivotal point for us. We got to the point where we had our demonstration and testing systems, and so she was brave enough to take this on, bring it into their classrooms, okay, and Dr. Fawcett as well over at Benjamin Franklin Middle School as an example. And we sort of just stood aside and like, whatever religion you are, like, okay, let's make sure this works. Okay, we were amazed by the results. And now we take them for a little bit for granted because our first amazing results were such a powerful combination for these kids that for us it was earth-shaking, at least for people like us that are trying to do something that's real. What are we really trying to do? Yeah, this is going to be, we anticipate a successful commercial venture. It'll be something that should make money and be successful. Just today alone, and you don't mind when I say this, we're sort of out of school. Okay, this is being streamed, right? So it's not only the folks that are here. And just today alone, because we didn't go out of our way to go and tell people that, hey, our website's coming up, and the amount of people that have been coming in to register and subscribe across the United States broke the back-end commercial transaction credit card system that went to the banks. Okay, all right. By broke meaning that the banks couldn't deal with it, and quite frankly, it's on my shoulders, it's my fault, because I'm the idiot that sat there, a couple months ago and said, okay, no, we're going to walk into this, and it's going to take time and all this other kind of stuff, so we don't have to have this on full power day one. Well, I was wrong. And so I'm wearing that. Now we've got technicians going crazy, not only here, but in other places trying to fix my bad call. But we'll take care of it today, tomorrow, and on and improve. That's the other part of it, is that the learning that we've been doing is not about how all of us learn in academia or in school or anything like that. It's how we learn as well to do a better job in what we're trying to get done. And it is a system, and it's a platform that, as in the next couple of months, today is a pre-launch. What does that mean, really? Okay, well, it's an informational opportunity. You get a chance to go onto the website, muck around with it, and look at different things there and everything like that. And in the next month or two, there will be more and more functionality added to that as we address things like Carlos being an idiot and doing something like that. Okay, but that's sort of what the spirit of this. Diverse people, different cultures, different backgrounds, everything like that, all focused on one thing. Okay, and what we're focused on is helping those that need or want to improve their skill levels. This is not a new educational system. This is something that will enable them to deal with the educational systems that are there, not because they're bad, it's because they can do better with them just by using these tools themselves and improving. And that's what we want to do. We want to get those folks that are trainees that you hear about this all the time in the news. Building new factories is not the answer. Educating and training our people on how to deal with this world is the strongest part of that equation. So if you go to a factory or you go to a job and you can't deal with, I think we were talking about with trucking and buses and everything like that. Today, I remember when we were talking last about this with MTS, it's no longer just get in a truck and deliver a box someplace. Okay, sorry, those days are over. The person that's actually doing the driving has to deal with the interaction with the recipient. It could be an international shipment. You may have consignees and all the other people involved. You have to understand a lot of the information that's going around. You may be moving class 1 pharmaceutical, drugs or something, and going to a distributor that's going to need you to understand what the transaction is. This is a lot more than being a trucker, like from the baby boomer generation. Okay, so a trucker was the person that's driving the truck. Okay, that's the trucker. That world has changed, but that's an interesting point in our society and in our world where we're in an information, knowledge-based society, and so we have a great opportunity in this first pass. And our first pass is about English learning, because in our country, that's a big challenge. And it's not only in our area here, it's everywhere in the country. And that challenge continues to mortgage our future if we don't do something about it. Because these same folks that are pushing down the line, I learned something, I've learned many things in this, but I think it's only through 7th grade that the educators are required to teach reading. Is that correct? So only through 7th grade. So after 7th grade, what? So if you go to 7th grade, get it past 7th grade, and your English reading level is 4th grade reading, what happens then, right? Okay, you just keep that going. And so unless there's some intervention programs and everything like that, but those are expensive. We heard about parents spending money having to do these things. That's very true. And so how can we make a change with this? How can we provide an impact to this? So that's the background of the technology from the perspective of our focus of applying technology. Our focus was we don't have all the answers, but we have enough to help those that can truly get help. And then I think for me, the most important part is the fact that we require linkage between the learners and their parents, guardians, or sponsors, and their educators and instructors. Now, that's not a new concept, but from our perspective, we make that a requirement of the system. So if you're going to be using it, okay, one of your parents or guardians or something is going to be linked into that and be part of that circle. That, for example, if you level up, if like that young man that leveled up that Derek was talking about, his mom, when she's happy with this and everything like that, the system's going to come back and show him a picture of her, letting him know that she was happy with his success. Little things like that, those little communications that can start to do a little bit in reestablishing the linkage that we've mortgaged in our society. That linkage was, there was a time when the parents had the time and resource and abilities to be part of that. Okay, nowadays it's a real challenge to do that. So this is not going to solve that societally, but it will start to push it in that direction. So to me, that's quite frankly the most important part for me, because being Cuban, when we came to this country, that's what my parents said, you know, you will learn and you will do this and you will apply this and everything. And back then, you know, what do you want to do? Kill your parents. Okay, but at the end of the day, they're doing something that really helps. So I'm sorry for the diatribe. I just wanted to get you some background on this. What I'd like to do now is I'm going to go over there with Jenny, and we'll call up the system and give you a walkthrough. We're not going to go through any deep dive or anything, but it will be there later on for you to go check it out and do things with it. And today it's the website, big thing for us, and we've got it on there. Okay, why don't you go ahead and click on that, because there's somebody else who wants to talk with you.
World, I'm Spiral, the study buddy. I help learners, students, and trainees of all ages improve their educational learning levels and skills easily and quickly. Today, more than ever, learners, students, and trainees are facing difficult educational challenges, falling behind, and missing opportunities for higher education, careers, and jobs. Our educators, teachers, and instructors are facing increased challenges trying to address individual student needs. Responsible and caring parents, guardians, and sponsors are trying to help, but are challenged with increased costs and tutors, special education, tools, and the lack of resources. Did you know that we all learn in different ways and styles? We each have a learning personality that includes our learning styles, cognitive skills, and situational preferences. Did you know that it has been scientifically proven that learners, students, and trainees achieve dramatic improvement and advancement in learning levels and skills if the learning materials, content, and tools are provided using their learning personality? Individually focused to the way and style they learn best? I can really help by providing solutions based on advanced technologies in a very easy-to-use service via internet and available on your mobile, tablet, or PC devices in schools, at home, or just about anywhere. Try what I can do for the learner, student, or trainee in your family, school, or business. Register now for the introductory Spiral the Study Buddy English reading solution and improve your English reading level and skills quickly. I'm ready to spiral! Let's go!
So I'll speak to you from here just for a couple more minutes, just to give you a little flyby on this site, and then later on, when you've got time and interest in doing that, then you can, go into it yourself. But this is designed to make sure that we get folks understanding right off the top what it is that they're going to be getting in results. And this particular site breaks it down into the services, the benefits of the services, and the features that are behind it. And Spiral learners, we love to have stories about the kids and the learners and the educators and everything as success is being made out there, and to encourage those things. So our approach philosophically is something like that. The pieces that are interesting, for example, when you go into spiral services, we have things like in 404 error. Okay, that's what we go to. All right. So when we go into those particular areas, we jump in and say, okay, guess what? The very first thing that you deal with is a learning personality analysis, right? And so what that does is you go through a process of actually looking at pictures and making decisions from these pictures. And you'll follow the gist of this. There's a picture, for example, I think we have one here, that has a group of people playing music, right? And there's another group there listening to the music. And so when you show that to a learner, you get a chance to ask them 3 questions. Hey, or one, saying, what are these people doing? And they have 3 answers. One is they're playing music. Another one is we're listening to music. Or number 3 is they are doing both, because they're in that particular group. We grabbed from that little snippet of picture the understanding that they're more interested from a social perspective because there's a group, okay? There's no wrong answer. In one case, they may be really focused on who's playing that, the playing of the music, versus somebody else may say they're much more logically minded when they're looking and answering that they're doing both. So there's nothing wrong with that from that perspective, but we start to gather based on those little clicks and decisions of 20 or 30 of these pictures that come across and answers to those questions, what the psychologists in education and what the educational theorists have put forth as ways to understand what the orientation is. And from there, we get an opportunity to build a baseline that says, okay, day one, you've got more capability in this area, and maybe you're stronger in these other areas. It sounds simple. That's exactly what it's supposed to come across as being simple. All right, it's simple to use and simple to understand from there, because none of us are deep psychologists or anything like that, but we want to just get a guide that starts to tell us this. So this first one that comes out, the learning personality analysis, provides that kind of guide. It does an analysis on your cognitive skills, it does an analysis on your learning styles, and then it does an analysis on your environmental orientation, and it brings those together in a very unique way and provides you with a learning guide. And that learning guide, if you're an educator and you get this learning guide, you're getting it about a student, right? Or somebody, and it says, this is the guide that we recommend you follow when you're selecting content and tools for this particular student. So, or conversely, if you're a parent or a guardian and you want to select the kinds of tools and capabilities that you're bringing to your learner, to your student, to help them out, it gives you a guide, so that you can understand that it's based individually for every single person. And so that's a simple flyby on that particular one. So what the system does is it actually generates that initially, but that's not where it stops. Okay, because the whole journey, here's that picture I told you about. So got a bunch of people that are playing music, and that's an example of that one. We have something called spiral solutions, and spiral solutions are hundreds of paths in education. Things like English reading is a spiral solution. It could be, next year it'll be math, then science, and so on and so forth. So those spiral solutions, now when a user goes to that, they get an assessment. And that assessment, let's suppose it's English reading. They get the opportunity to read out loud to the system things that we're putting in there for them to read. The system will analyze what they're saying, and from there be able to extract an understanding of their strengths and weaknesses in that level of reading, and put forth an assessment guide Excuse me. So that assessment guide is the next step in the process that now tells them more, tells the parent or guardian or the educator more, and says, hey, now you need to know that you're stronger in memory, and maybe you're stronger in phonetics, and maybe you're stronger in other areas, or you need more there. And that's providing a guide that's actually mission critical to what a learner needs to know and their sponsor or guardian needs to know. Because how many have gone out to these existing systems today that utilize assessments, tests, right? And all of those tests, they're good tests. They're not bad tests. They're good tests. But they have one common challenge, which is that they have a perception built into those tests of what standard is. Okay, I don't know about you. I'm not standard. Okay, and we're different. We're diversified. So why treat us as standard based on something else that does not apply to the majority of us? In the baby boomer days, okay, it was a different structure. The approach to education and content and everything like that was oriented towards doing the 80-20 rule. We're going to get 80% of the people into this particular box, and that's what we're going to be feeding them in education. I'm not knocking it. That actually was good from the time that this country was founded. Okay, they had to have something to deal with it. But as we grew in population and complexity and everything like that, that no longer fit. That shoe no longer fit. And so the adjustments to that have created a whole bunch of other standards, which a lot of these assessment tests out there, they glom onto one or another of those, right? Good things to understand. So when you go and pay a lot of money to get one of those done, wouldn't you like to know already how to interpret the results of that based on your own capability and your own understanding of how you learn within that particular subject matter? So if your kid's going and getting a low response from that standard test, you should know why. Okay, and this tells you the why, the opportunity for the why. Now it gives you the opportunity to provide help and adjust in that area. And that's what, to me, this part is the most powerful part of the entire platform, is that ability to at least give us a why, give us a path it's based on solid science, solid research, everything. We didn't invent that. What we did was bring it forward technologically so that we can use it, so that we don't have to go and guess so many times. So that's, to me, one of the strongest steps in this particular process. The next thing that we do from there is, if you choose, as a user, you can now get content from integrations that we have made with content providers and tools not of our making, but what we've done differently there was our system has gone through all of that content, analyzed it, and determined from its analysis where it fits best for a particular student and particular learner and what they are stronger at or not. So we now give them an opportunity to get a head start and get an opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to be improving my level skills in English. Great. So I'm fourth grade or fifth grade now, but I want to move up. So that kind of content that comes to them now through this system, and content created by others but analyzed by us to fit into their strengths and challenges and weaknesses so that they can improve in those areas. That's what we do that's differently. And that's also something that helps the educators, instructors, and trainers a lot, because in talking with other companies about this, and some pretty large ones, the biggest challenges that they're facing, even internally in their own companies, is communicating to their employee base. And not because anyone has problems in the employee base, but it's because they've all learned differently. They have different approaches. And so they just want to know what those things are so they can adjust what their communications are like. okay, and it helps them improve all that area. So that combination, the combination of learning personality, subject matter assessment, and then access to content and tools that help you in those areas is what has been applied in the different tests and proofs that we had and everything like that, and picking on Benjamin Franklin as the shining light in that area for us, and because it was very powerful for us to be able to spend less than 30 hours and improve your levels of skills in English reading by 70% average. And when you compare that to what the costs are that we're trying to, our approach has been very different. It's not one of these highfalutin, super expensive things. No, people like us have to be able to afford these things. Okay, it can't be the expensive ride down the path. And we've positioned Spiral so that our pricing architecture, for example, that first one that we talked about, the family plan, $99 a year. Okay, for 5, it doesn't even have to be in your family. It could be somebody down the street or something like that. And guess what? On each one of those, the parents then get included on top of that, and the educators get included on top of that, because we're trying to walk what we're preaching here, which is you got to really make a difference. And that's our approach, is to make sure that this is available not only here, like PJ said, in California, okay, but in this country and even outside this country. If we can have that kind of a capability, so there's a long way between here and there, and lots of hard work ahead to get it there, but this gives you sort of a flyby, an idea of what's there. And when you go onto this site, you can get a deeper dive into what the benefits are in every area. You could just understand all sorts of fun things. I'm not, you didn't come here to go look at a website, so I'm giving you this particular thing, but you could break it down into how, where it helps. Confidence and skills and everything like that helps you in language that we deal with every day. Not hypotechno language, not, hey, you've got to go to school just to actually go over here and read this thing, but something that's understandable by folks that are just trying to guide and help those that are learners and students and everything like that. So today, this site is our next step in our evolution. We have not only folks that are guardians and parents and educators here amongst us, but also some of our investors. And our path along this line was to get this first site out, get the word out to people, get some support from the communities to participate, to register, and then even some of them are subscribing, or else they wouldn't have broken the back end on this. But all this is going fine, so we're not complaining about it. And so that's a good thing that we like about what's going on. But our first step here, through the end of January, when the full platform will be available for everybody, is to get the kind of support and the kind of participation of communities of people that are interested in education and actually making a difference. It is true, the system that we have is not working and hasn't been for a while for many different reasons. It's not only political stuff and it's not only economic stuff. There's lots of challenges there. We're trying to do something for those that can't go fix that system. And we may not be living long enough to live to fix that system, but if we can at least make this kind of a difference, that's the philosophy that's behind our platform. So, without further ado, what I'll do is I'll surrender now, and when you get a chance later on, as you head out, we've got some of our young helpers out there. If you want to register, go ahead. They'll help you register. If some of you want to subscribe, go ahead and do that, assuming the bank gods let it go through. Okay, but either way, do register, because it doesn't mean you're obligated to anything. It just means that you'll have access and an account on the system so that you can come back to and deal with it later and everything like that. And you'll be joining already thousands of people that have done it today, even though we weren't anticipating that, and thousands more, God blessing, going forward. So that's those are the things I wanted to say, and sorry if I went over long and boring. And I'm still a baby boomer, by the way.
Can we thank Mr. Carlos for his presentation? Now we're going to be asking you questions afterwards, so I need you to remember every single detail. So our next presenter immediately saw the vision. She recognized the positive effect Spiral could have on our children and was moved to be NuuED's first investor. She's an entrepreneur and has positively impacted the lives of multiple early learners. It is a true honor to introduce to you Ms. Tammy Jones.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Wow. I know that you have heard the term being in the right place at the right time to make the right decision. Well, that's what happened to me when I was introduced to NuuED. I've been a family daycare provider for over 15 years. I've seen different nuances in the family. One thing that I do, I'm a liaison a lot of times between the schoolhouse and the parent, because they don't have the time or the capabilities to go and speak with the teachers. So I have seen that on a daily basis. So for me to be an investor, I invest every day in my babies. I call them my babies. I invest every day. I see the struggles that they have encountered throughout the years. This is very passionate for me. I mean, this is something that I didn't take lightly. Yes, I'm a businesswoman, so I thought about the economic value of it, where I can make some money. But also, more importantly, I seen that this service can provide something that is much needed in our community. I see it every day. And one thing that when I seen the demo and seen that how it went into the Benjamin Franklin School, and I seen the hope in those children's eyes from the beginning to, after 6 weeks, I mean, my God, 6 weeks, that they had the confidence, to come up and be able to speak and articulate how they had learned. And it had changed, it varied, they thought that they learned one way and they found out that they learned another. So I was very impressed with it. So it was a no-brainer for me. Some people, I'm not someone that just jumps into things, but this was something that I believe that was sent to me to invest in. There was nothing else that I could do but invest in it. And somebody told me that, I'm going to try to get this right here, that when I became an investor, that I put skin in the game. So when I put skin in the game, when somebody gives me an adjective or gives me a title, I got to find out what they're saying. So Warren Buffett coined that term. And it says, I went in the dictionary, and there's always various explanations or various explanations of what the terms are meaning. But I chose this one. It says, to have skin in the game is to have incurred risks, monetary or otherwise. Get involved in achieving a goal. That's what I'm here today. And I'm asking you, because you know I'm on the investment team, right? I'm asking you, that's me. Is that going to be you?
Right.
One way or the other, you need to invest. If it's on a family plan, the school plan, whatever, we have to do it. Just these people in the room right now. You heard Carlos say you can do 5 children, 5 learners for $99 for 1 year. My gosh. So look at it as a Christmas present, or, give it to somebody as a gift, because you're giving them a gift, a commodity to be able to learn how they learn best. So I just want to thank you. So I said, like I said, that's me. Is that going to be you? They're out there waiting on you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Tammy. You're wonderful, and we love you. So at this time, we're going to welcome back our innovative founder, Mr. Derek O'Neill.
Fitted shirts, the fitted pants, and now they have a fitted education, a fitted tool they can use. This is what I call cool anyway, right? So what I'm saying is today, because I'm gonna let you go, but I'm very happy that we were able to present that. But I want you to just realize it for a minute. We go really deep and just think to yourself, if you had to really go and get your student assessed like this, how much would it cost? Think about it. I mean, it's like people, they don't really realize that. I mean, I'm like, this is deep right here. I'm like, Carlos, are you sure? We want to give everybody affordable education. That's my mission in life. I shared that story with you today, and I'm going to share many more with you in the next couple of months. So with that being said, I like everybody. Carlos, we're going to talk about, I was so upset today. I mean, we had a lot of people. I mean, I was unprepared for all the people that was putting in the registrations and the site. I mean, you hear about that all the time. It happened today. But you can still register online. We go out there and register. It helps us. Now, pretty much want to just thank you for coming out today. If you have any questions afterwards, come talk to us. We're looking for people that share the same philosophy as us, partners, and we welcome everybody. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
One more thing. I like to just really like to send a special shout out to a lot of my personal friends that's in the house. I got friends from when I was 3 years old to now. And the Dr. Patrice Rogers, I really appreciate you. And she can tell you the experience. If you have any questions, she ran the study. She did it. Thank you very much.
And folks, this is being streamed, by the way. So I don't think we're going to be solving the bank challenge in the next few hours because I've been getting text about the levels of interest at hundreds of thousands. I mean, and so we're saying, okay. Yeah, it'll be really interesting over the next couple of months for us as we start to launch the different modules of it, and as that comes back across to us, if we're just today doing a soft initial step, I don't even know what's going to happen down the line, but it's sort of fun anyway. So, there'll be no sleep. Oh yeah, that's right. Our teams are right outside now that'll help you register, and be gentle on them. They're youngsters and they're trying to, but actually, since they're the Y generation, the Y generation spends a lot of time online making orders.
Yes.
Right, okay. So they know how to do it, better than the baby generation.
And let me just share this with you all. Remember when you know how when movies come out on a weekend and they wait the studios wait with bated breath until Monday to see which movie outdid the other and how much they grossed for the weekend. This is our weekend. We need to break records. We need to gross and outdo whatever else is out there. We know it's not anything comparable to what this is. So let's do our role so that Monday we can contact Derek and Carlos and say, okay, were we number one? Did we do it? So let's do that.
Thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. Okay, and be safe.